me, by the way.
Yeah, it's recording. All right, cool. All right, what is going on, y'all? We are back for episode 3. This is Blerd Buster, and tonight our episode is going to be She-Hulk. So here we are again. I'm your host K1, and this is your co-host.
The line, what's up, y'all?
As you can see, man, we've been dropping some gems and stuff for y'all to get ready for this episode. So we're just gonna jump into it. And we know there's a lot of mixed reviews. Some people like it, some people kind of like it. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
But, yeah,
love out here.
right. but But we're gonna jump into it because this is gonna kick off a series of other things. So we're gonna talk about just about the Marvel Universe and Phase 4 in total. So we're just gonna get into it and jump in there. So I'm gonna let you start off. What's your thoughts about it?
Okay, so I will say the first 2 episodes, I think they premiered first 2 episodes, if I'm not mistaken. And I didn't hate it. Now, I made like a kind of mild kind of review on it. And I said that, it's not bad, but it's just one of those fun shows. Like, it's not anything to go crazy about. And you're definitely going to have those Easter eggs in there. And it's going to bring in Daredevil, which I think is dope. So I thought the first 2 episodes were cool. After that, I don't know. And I get it. They're trying to be goofy and silly. Like, I get it. That's not the issue for me because I know it got a lot of flack for the Stallion episode, which I thought was cool. But this last recent episode is almost like, I don't know if the director just is not caring anymore, or I don't know, but it's just, I can actually say it's trash at this point. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think the last episode, I think it was just one of those things like we're getting to the end of it, I'm assuming. And, maybe that's the reason why I just kind of was like, all right, boom, here you go, take that. Because, I try to look into stuff as deep as I can sometimes. But like from that episode, I didn't really see any Easter eggs. Like I tried not to get on my phone, but I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing I know about Marvel, they don't just put out anything for nothing. Like there's something in whatever they showing you, whatever have you. And like I said, really I think we're just in that phase where we're in filler episodes. And they might not be as crazy as what we normally are used to, but that's what they are. They're filler episodes to get us to the next point, which is quote unquote phase, the next phase. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Definitely.
I really don't know.
Right, because I definitely felt like this episode it really gave me filler vibes. I don't feel like, towards the end, I guess, because they were saying the leader may be introduced, which I'm not really familiar with him. I read up a little bit on him, which I think will be dope for the future if they're bringing him in there. But I don't know. To me, it feels like all the Marvel shows, like you said, have been just feeling like fillers. Like, I feel like they're just trying to push these characters and get them out there for us. And I don't know if it's the directors or the writers, but it's just not good. Like, these shows have not been good to me. Besides Falcon Winter Soldier, that was like the only one that I feel like was really, now not to say it didn't have its problems or some of its issues, but that was my favorite out the Marvel shows so far.
Man, I think with that show, it still was kind of holding on to what we were used to. So therefore, that's something we was comfortable with. But now with these other, with these other shows, they're taking more of a risk versus what we're normally used to because, we're used to the seriousness. We're used to a joke here and there. But, Falcon and Winter Soldier was still kind of on that. They could have made a movie out of that, honestly. It didn't have to be a show. It could have been a movie, and I think would have been just as good. But, I do think, as fans, we've gotten so comfortable with what we used to now. With anything else that's thrown at us, we're just like, we don't want that. Give me what I want. Give me the, whatever. So it's just, I'm just hoping this next one is gonna really be an eye opener and be something to build up to. Because if you look at the original phase that we were on, it was a build up. It's 10 years of where we were just on edge for every one of them. It's like, all right, whenever we get to the next one, and when we finally got the end game and we finally got Infinity War and all that, we was like, oh, that's what we wanted this whole time. That's it, And now this one's like, man, if we get there.
Yeah, because I think me and you talked about it. We were like, everybody's giving this show so much flack. And we were like, you know what? We're looking at it for what it is. It's not meant to be like oh my God, this is amazing. Right. We're kind of like, it's a cool show. But after, like I said, after I think maybe the third episode, I was kind of like, this is kind of becoming too goofy, too cringy. And that brings me to the point of like, we touched on this a little bit on the last episode, is MCU getting too silly? Is it getting too goofy? And I think She-Hulk definitely, like, and I get it. Like, people may say the comics, she acts like that. I get it, but I don't know. This is almost like just a straight up parody to me at this point.
I mean, I think if they could have made it any better, they could have changed the rating up. Because I mean, if we look at She-Hulk in the past, she was raunchy, she was all this, whatever. I mean, I think that would have went well because, one thing I'm not saying is like, you want to take these risks and jumping into these crazy, these silly episodes and things of that nature or whatever. But when it comes to like raunchy, fleshy, like, like some real actual sex stuff going on, some sex scenes going on, whatever, that could really speak to whatever the character was versus what we're seeing. Because looking at She-Hulk, I'm like, that ain't who I remember her as, but I could be wrong. You know what I mean? You know, but I'm really just hoping, I'm fingers crossed, I'm just hoping it's a means to an end and we're going to get something amazing out of it. Because right now it's just like, I'm trying to pick and prove through certain things I like and just hold on to those. But it's
and a great point you made. I'm just trying to, like you said, I'm just trying not to get to the point where I'm just like, forget it. I definitely don't look forward to the episodes at this point. I think I'm more so just excited for Daredevil at this point to see how they bring him in. And even with that, I hope they don't goof it up, because I don't know. I really don't know. I think you also made a great point. If it was a different rating, because you do get those, like, you feel like they want to go there, but they don't because of the rating, and it's on Disney Plus, and so they can't really go there with the adult jokes and all that other stuff. I feel like it actually probably would be a little bit better if they were able to do that, because it just kind of feels these cringy sex jokes and adult jokes, and I'm just over it.
Yeah. But I mean, one thing I have noticed that Disney has been doing, like, Daredevil is not going to be PG-13. It's going to be like it was on Netflix, because Disney Plus got to where now you have to have a login to get on there, because they got rated R content that's coming to Disney Plus. So they set it up so, like you said, and that's been the running joke. Like, She-Hulk, you're just a filler for Daredevil. That's what you're here for.
Right.
Get him back on the screen. That's what you're here for. But, at the end of the day, the work, it seems like it's going behind Daredevil is going to be up there. So, just got to hold tight, because I'm pretty sure it's not that many more episodes. It can't be, because the Falcon and Winter Soldier got 6 episodes. They got to be at the run.
I think it's 9 actually episodes, because I think this past episode was 6, and I think we got 3 more. So it's funny how now she's the show that gets the more episodes. I'm like, you couldn't give this to all the other ones. Yeah, so we got 3 more weeks to go. 3 more weeks.
Well, luckily we won't have to. Hopefully, we won't make part 2 out of this. We got to cover it again. I wait till all 3 of them shoot out, and then I'll possibly look at it.
I'm with you on that. I may have to do that because I'm just not feeling it. Like you said, it just feels like it's a filler for Daredevil at this point. Like she's just kind of there to give him the platform to be introduced into the MCU, and that's it at this point.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Seriously.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, well, like we was talking about before, I think they're gonna end up doing it more so like they did with the Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett was kind of just on the coattails of Mandalorian. So right. Mandalorian finally showed up at the end of Book of Boba Fett, and then pretty much just became his show after that. So I think that's kind of what's gonna kind of be mirrored with the same thing. They're gonna bring in Daredevil, they're gonna phase her out, and then Daredevil's gonna continue to have his series. That's what I think is gonna happen.
Yeah, because at this point, I feel like I don't see at this point how she can. Because even if they did bring her in and bring her into the Avengers circle, I just feel like she wouldn't really fit in. I don't know. I don't know. I just wish they would have did it better. Like I get the funniness, but damn, I don't know. I feel like a way point.
Yeah. And then I mean, you know, too, you gotta hope with Secret Invasion that's gonna really open some up stuff, you know, because you know I think with Secret Invasion that's the whole point of it being secret, so therefore we don't see what's going on until it happens. So
right. Yeah,
it's, like I said, all I got is hopes and prayers right now at this point. Right. So you know, I know they got the capability to do it. They just got to do it. It's like you can't give us a good decade worth of content and then flop. Like you got to tighten up.
Oh my God, you know? It feels like it's falling apart. Like I don't, and maybe because they had the Russo brothers kind of spearheading the whole Infinity Saga and everything, but it's almost like the MCU is falling apart in Phase 4. Like everything with it, like in my opinion, like I've always said, I feel like Shang-Chi was really good, and that was only I had to at least watch it twice to get that opinion. I thought it was like, and then like I said, Falcon Winter Soldier. I know a lot of people like Loki. I didn't particularly care for Loki, but yeah, that's my only 2 picks that I felt like were good out of Phase 4. Everything else has just been so mediocre. Yeah.
Because I mean, like I said, you know, I know we was talking about it, and I was reading up on some things or whatever with She-Hulk. So with a lot of the Easter eggs they're dropping in, like if they do it right, they could bring some people in that can actually be fired. Like, you know, with old girl that went through the portal and she made a pact with the devil, essentially. And that character in himself, I forget his name, but that character in itself is supposed to be pretty powerful as well. Like, so if they, like I said, it's just like if they move the pieces where they need to move, then it's good to go. Because I feel like somebody that, let's just say, for instance, I feel like somebody that was maybe deep into those comics, the She-Hulk comics, could probably spot some of that stuff like, oh, I seen that. I know that. No, I know what's going on there, but I didn't really come up watching it like that. You know, I always knew about She-Hulk. I would see episodes and things of that nature, but, you know, I don't know enough about her to know, like, okay, this is happening, that's happening. Like, I actually had to go do my research, you know, versus, you know, Spider-Man, I know what's going on here. Or, you know, any other character, I know what's going on there. So, you know, it's new and it's fresh. But then the funny thing to me is I feel like, you know, people can't say, oh, there was just a man behind this. It was a man directing this show. It wasn't. It's a woman that's directing this show. Right. So therefore, you know, you're seeing what she has to offer for this show, whatever. So I don't know if that's more so her direction or the direction she was given, but this is what we have. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah.
I think my expectations are just low for the rest of the season. I hope if they're gonna bring in Daredevil, I hope it was worth it because. Yeah, week after week of sitting through, this week's episode was really bad.
Really? Yeah, like, really. I really had to go back and was like, did I watched that right? I wasn't sure what I got from it. I was like, I know I watched it, but I don't know. I just,
Right.
the only solid things out of just the season in itself was bringing in, damn, I was about to call that man Doomsday. His name is not Doomsday. I'm thinking about DC.
Right.
Fuck. What's his fucking name? I know his name.
Is he a villain?
Yeah, no, the guy that was in prison. She had to. Damn, I know his fucking name. I know his name.
Abomination.
Abomination. That's what it is. Yeah, because sometimes I get Abomination and Doomsday mixed up because they literally the same character. If we being honest, but hey.
Okay.
Yeah. But with them bringing him in, there was something I noticed too, because when his character came in, I'm like, okay, the same guy's playing him, cool. So I'm assuming he's gonna look pretty much the same. But I remember noticing, I think it was in Shang-Chi, that Wong was Wong. I think Wong was in that movie somewhere. Yeah, where he was fighting and.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say he was fighting Abomination.
So yeah. So when I say that, I was like, oh, that does kind of look like Abomination, but it don't look like the Incredible Hulk Abomination that I know. And there's a reason for that, because I was looking into it and I was looking at some of the older cartoons for Hulk or whatever. That's how he looked. The one we seen in She-Hulk, that's how he looked. And I was like, oh, because the whole time I'm like, hey, this is like a big ass fish. Like, I don't I don't know who this man is.
Yeah. More comic book accurate, but in a way I do kind of like the 2000, when did it come out, 2008 Hulk. Abomination design a little bit better because he looked more scary to me.
Yeah.
Versus this one, but I do like that it's more comic book accurate. So yeah, that's cool. But I one thing I do hate that they did was, I hate that they kind of made him a nice guy, because I feel like we only got him in the first Hulk movie, really haven't seen much of him since then. So I wish that they would have kept him being the bad guy for a little bit longer. I hate that they kind of went that direction.
I mean, I hope at the end of the day they wasn't necessarily like just bringing him back for our sake, like bringing his face back. Like, oh, hey, remember him? Like, nah, it's cool. Yeah, I remember him, but I kind of want the grudgy one, the one that was whooping Hulk's ass. It was a good ass fight. Like, a lot of people don't give Incredible Hulk the justice it deserves. Like,
I agree.
Right, because after the Hulk flop and then Incredible Hulk came, I was riding with them. I was like, all right, cool, y'all gonna follow up this, and then boom, they took out Ed Norton, and then we got Mark Ruffalo, and yeah, but like that's just showing sometimes where, not even sometimes, but Marvel does has its weak points with some of the things that it does. So with time after time again, they chose a Hulk, then they finally settled on one for the MCU, and now we have what we have. But I'm hoping maybe Abomination isn't as nice as he's acting. I feel like maybe he's just putting on, but we'll see. I don't know.
I hope so, but I also heard rumors that they're kind of shifting more into outer space more so, which would make sense like from now on. But it's just, I don't know. I feel like even if they are trying to do that, I don't feel like they have to just do away with the character Abomination. I just wish we got more of him, because, and then also with the Hulk, it's like, I feel like they haven't gave him any justice either. He started out being like serious and the Hulk that we love, and then they've kind of made him into like a joke too.
Like I said, that's why I'm hoping that Secret Invasion is what opens everything up, because we talked about it time and time and again. After he got hold by Thanos, and he just been I just, like I said, like I told y'all before, I never want to get my ass whooped so bad to the point I changed my whole character. Like, I'm a whole nice guy now, smart Hulk. Like,
the brakes on him so bad that the Hulk was like, "Nah, fuck this. You got it." Like, he was done. That was crazy. Like,
because Because I remember being in theaters and I did not expect that shit at all. Like, I'm like, all right, Hope, all right, yo, give me that work, give me that 2 piece and a biscuit. Then see
Right.
those Thanos meat, 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 meat. I'm like, oh shit. So
No,
you
that's
know,
probably one of the most memorable scenes from just when you think about going to see Infinity War for the first time. It's like that scene is something I'll never forget. That was wild. That was
yeah,
wild. Yeah, he ain't never been the same after that. That was it.
nah. So, I hope that answers some questions too. I mean, he got a little bit of a redemption in Ragnarok, and I mean a little bit, but
Yeah.
outside of that, it was just like, man, nah. Mm-mm.
And then I even
So
hate that because they advertised it as him being Hulk and going in when the final battle in Wakanda Infinity War. And I get it. They were doing that for press or whatever. But just to actually see it and then he's in the Hulk suit. I'm like, bruh, I'm done. I'm
yeah,
done.
they hit us with the okie doke with that one, but
Right.
yeah, but I
And
think too. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would have loved to see round 2 with him and Thanos. So I hate that we didn't get that.
Nah, I mean, and then just like even going into that, you had Hope that didn't get his round 2, but then you had, Thor that finally got his, and Endgame or whatever. But it was more so like you got it, but not really. Like
No,
you had your chance to go off and you didn't,
they didn't, right?
and so it's I don't know, but and then like I said, maybe that was another phase where they kind of pumped Thor like you went and got fat, you lost your ambition, and this is what you got. This is what you
Right,
got now.
right.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I really don't agree with the direction they're doing with some of the characters. Like you said, I just hope they get it together. I hope they listen to the fans' complaints because I feel like it's very cohesive in what people are thinking. Like Phase 4 has been the weakest, and I'm just disappointed in Marvel. I'm like, come on, y'all. Like y'all can do way better than this.
right. I mean, and sometimes that's even down to the CGI. Like the CGI of She-Hulk is like it's like y'all taking us back. Like
Yeah,
even the CGI for Incredible Hulk is better than what we seeing now with her. So I'm just like,
I agree. I agree. She looks
yeah,
weird. It's something weird about her walking. Seems very mechanical and robotic at times, and
like she
it's
on
just
stilts or something.
yeah, like she's on stilts. It's very strange. Yeah. And what do you think about the whole Meg the Stallion thing? Because that was she got a lot of backlash over that. Which I thought the episode was goofy, silly, of course. I thought some parts were cringy, but me personally, I didn't mind the twerk scene. I thought it was fun. I actually laughed at it. So I
Yeah,
find it kind of ridiculous that people are actually bashing and trashing the episode and making it seem like they trashed MCU. It's crazy to me.
nah. I mean, I didn't really feel no type of way about that or whatever. I'm like, it was just a scene. It was a less than a 10-second scene of just them dancing, and then it was the end of the episode. That was it.
Right.
At the end of the day or whatever, they could have did much worse than that or whatever. And
Yeah.
then, and then we look at this too. Like a lot of people keep forgetting, like Meg Thee Stallion, she a whole nerd too. She in the anime and all that shit. So, she was probably happy to, be in the MCU somewhere or whatever. So, just I feel like let people have a shine. It could have been way worse. But at the end of the day, that's just what it was. And of course, we had this conversation. There's a lot of people I know that was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Why would she do that?" I'm like, y'all do know She-Hulk was doing some shit in the comic books and the in the cartoons,
Yeah.
like way worse. Like she
Way
was yeah, way worse. She was getting in hot tubs with niggas and shit. Like she was doing
right.
some wild shit.
She was wilding. She was
Right, right. So with She-Hulk attorney at law, I just feel like if at least in her position, if you so serious all the time, you ain't gonna never have a life. So, for her to just kind of break out and just, have fun with a client, just I ain't see no harm in it, but
and compared to what we're seeing on the show, they have watered it a lot compared to, like you saying, in the comics, she was way worse. Like
right,
she down.
right.
So yeah, compared to like a little twerk scene, I think people are definitely, or they did blow that out of proportion. That was just crazy to me. But for some reason, I don't know if some people just, everything has to be like, oh, they're trying to be woke versus people seeing the message behind it. Like even some of the things, I think in the first episode, She-Hulk touched on talking to Bruce and saying, basically how men are. You have to be careful around what you do with certain men or how you speak to certain men or, getting catcalled by men and stuff like that. And people just look at that as woke, besides it being like a message to be heard there. It's just, I don't get it, man. I don't know about everything.
Because I mean, like you said, at the end of the day, that's definitely a thing or whatever, and that's that's one of those topics we can get deep on, but I don't know if it's for our platform. But
right.
it's
right.
It's a lot of things, but yeah, no, because I could be all night talking about that. But at the end of the day or whatever, like I really hate the term, I guess, woke for some reason, because it's like it started out with us and then now it's branched out. Now, if you see, gay scene, or if you see, just anything outside of that, oh, why they being so woke? Why they got to do this? And, I've always told people, I'm like, we were in that same position. If y'all remember, like, we didn't have representation. We weren't seeing a lot in films and TV shows, and we got our shot. We're coming out there, and now we're good. But now that everybody else trying to do their thing, it's like, oh, why they being woke? I'm like, now you sound like the other people that was down on us. So,
right.
yeah,
I hate the everything is woke culture thing going on. Like I legit I hate it so much. It's like, can y'all just for once look at the message behind some of the stuff? Like
right.
It's frustrating for sure.
Right. But I know, going back to what I was saying as far as direction and writers, like I said, I don't know what's the direction. I don't know if this is what they're being handed down from the top on down as far as how they work and how they create.
Right.
Because, right now at this point, it's just, like you said, the fans are speaking up, and then, sometimes, even with She-Hulk, they kind of made fun of that as well, about how the men were talking about her and things of that nature. Like, they made a whole Twitter feed on one episode. So, it's like, they hear us. They definitely hear us.
Yeah.
It's just like, they just, I don't know if it's one of those things. It's just like, just wait. I got what you want. Just wait on it. I don't know.
Right.
But,
yeah, and that's what I've been thinking too, and I'm like, just maybe I need to. But then it's like, damn, it's over half of the season at this point, so it's like, I don't know. Like I said, at this point, I'm just like, I'm with everybody else. I think everybody can probably say they're waiting for Daredevil at this point, because yeah, I don't.
I mean, but that's probably one of them things they doing. They probably baiting us. They probably feeding this to us until we get what we want. Then reel us in, like, oh, gotcha. This whole time, this is what we was trying to get you. So, I don't know. But then, I was also looking at some other stuff. Like, people put a lot of blame on Disney's why Marvel the way it is, and I feel like that can be yes and no, because at the end of the day, I think Disney bought Marvel in like 2009. So what we talked about Incredible Hulk, that was 2008. So they acquired everything right in 2009. So then after 2009, we got Avengers in 2012. Then we got the rest of the, universe, up until now for 10 years or whatever. So I don't know if I can place all the blame on them. I just think it's just different parts that are moving, and we're seeing those different parts because Marvel also had some other shows like I think Runaways and um, the not the Eternals, but whatever Thunderbolt was in. They showed him in Multiverse of Madness, but
Right.
that was another show that came out a little while back, and people kind of forgot about it. And then you see Thunderbolts like, oh, that's right, you was in something, was you?
Right.
So yeah, so I don't know if they're just trying to kind of pull all their pieces together at this point, but that's what I kind of feel like. They try and draw all the little pieces they can and then put everything together and build it up because, I don't know about you, but I'm still waiting on something from Fox, X-Men, the Fantastic Four is supposed to be on the way, but then they got rid of Krasnet, and I'm just like, why? Like,
yeah, right. That's crazy.
you know,
A lot of stuff that they said they were gonna do and then they didn't do, and I don't know. It kind of seems. I don't know what MCU is honestly trying to do. I feel like, like I told you, going back to the point of, I feel like they're trying. Well, they said they were trying to transition to be more in space. Cool, but it just kind of just seems like what is missing. Is missing that cohesiveness from Infinity Saga to me. I don't feel like everything just doesn't feel as gelled together as before. It just kind of seems like it's a little kind of just thrown all around to me. I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's no sense of direction anymore.
right. And like I said, it just goes back to what I said. It just seems like it's just trying to pull pieces and string them together. But
yeah, right.
Like I said, I'm just, it's something. It's something in it. And, I'm just trying to wait and hold on. But luckily we got other stuff that's entertaining enough to where we ain't just gotta be solely dependent on Disney and whatever they got going on. But we got other stuff.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah, because like so even with the transition to space, as you said, like I feel like if they wanted to do that, they kind of had an open window to do that when they was actually in fucking space. It's like go ahead and start doing some of that shit.
That's how like, yeah, just why you made a great point. Why didn't y'all do that when y'all were in space? It doesn't make sense to me at all. I don't get it.
Right, because I feel like you had all the pieces there. You had Ant-Man going to this little universe, and then you had, hell, First Avengers, Tony Stark going all the way up into space and then falling out, and he's seeing everything. Like you had all these transitions to where we could have made it happen, and you see all the little, like I said before, with Secret Invasion, you see all the little pieces. Like I think you see more of it in Spider-Man than anything, as far as the aliens and stuff like that, or whatever, those little pieces. So
Right.
again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but hopefully it just all makes sense because She-Hulk is just really just cringeworthy and trying to get through it as best as we can. But
it's difficult to get through them. God,
right. Honestly, I think if it wasn't for this show, I don't even know if I would really be watching it, but
I was watching it like,
mm-hmm.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole time, it was so bad, and I try not to say things are trash all the time, but that was legit a trash episode. It was terrible. Terrible. Right. Terrible. God, and it just based off what they've given us before with Phase 4, I hope Secret Invasion looks like they're trying to take it back to that seriousness of MCU, which I feel like has been kind of lost in translation. So I'm happy. But even so, like my expectations aren't that high because of what we've had to deal with thus far. But it seems like they're taking it back to how it used to be. So I'm happy. I'm excited for it. I'm just gonna keep my expectations a little low.
Because I mean, it's sad we gotta do that though, because it's like with DC for sure, I had to keep my expectations low with anything they threw at me.
Right.
You know, Marvel, I didn't. I'm like, oh yes, I am ready for this. Like, you know, I remember when Infinity War was about to drop, I had a whole dream. I woke up, I was like, hey baby, yo, I just helped the Avengers get Thanos. Like, that's, that's how deep I was into it, because I was just like, yeah, it had me there. But then, you know, what we can look at with the first phase is we didn't have these TV shows like we do now. We just had the movies. So that's all you had to wait for was the movie. Like, when am I going to the theater next? You know what I mean? And that's, yeah. So, I mean, that's what I'm hoping is going to bring us back in the theaters, give us something that's worth going to the theaters for. Because if I'm just going to wait until it come on Disney Plus, then I just don't want to go.
That's how I feel going into phase 4. Is like you said, that was so perfect. Like, before, we would be like super excited to go to the movies. Like, you had to go see a Marvel film in the movie theaters. Now it's kind of like, do I want to waste money and go see something that's possibly I will just wait till it gets on Disney. It's like, I'm not trying to spend no money if it's not going to be good. Like, that's why I hate that we've kind of got, especially us, you know, we're real Marvel fans, and so for us to say that, it's something seriously wrong going on. But the point that you made about what did you say about Secret Invasion? I low-key felt that way about Moon Knight. I was super excited for it because I was like, oh, like, this looks like it's gonna be possibly gory and bloody, and the trailers looked awesome. The first 2 episodes were amazing, and then it slowly started getting worse and worse and worse. And I hope Secret Invasion doesn't do that, because I would be disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, but that's I mean, would it come in, you know, to theaters and everything like that, you know, hopefully it won't be like that. But you know, Moon Knight, I like I said, same thing here, you know, started off real strong. And, you know, based on the trailers too, same thing. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be the answer to Batman, because it dropped the same time the Batman came out. So I was like, okay, this is gonna be the answer. This is what's gonna, you know, go against DC or whatever. And it started off strong. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I want. And, you know, like, maybe that'll be an episode we'll cover that one on. But like, even that point where he woke up and he didn't realize what he did, I'm like, bro, you got blood all on your hands and face, and you don't know what you just did.
Right. Like, it was so dope. I was like, yes, this is what I want. And then
right,
being silly, and it's like, why? It has so much potential, but
yeah.
Yeah,
you know, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to say nothing.
No. I was just saying, like, you know, me, I'm a big buff when it comes to, like, you know, like Egyptian, you know, history and like Greek mythology and all that. So I feel like when you present those things to me, and that's what I'm wanting to see, and then you drop the ball, it's just like, come on, man. Right. You know, like you said, because like with Moon Knight, like first 2 episodes strong. At the end of it, it still was pretty decent as well. Because like when you start unlocking and figure out what was going on to me, it started becoming pretty decent. And then when I think his girlfriend, she had got her powers, I'm like, look at that, praise God, praise God. She got her wings and shit. I'm like, praise God, all right, you know.
Right.
But.
Yeah, I think for me, I hated how. I just hated how goofy it became. I think that's my biggest gripe with Marvel shows. It just starts to become too goofy, and then I hate the way they left it off too. It was like, it wasn't satisfying. And then I hate how they played with the idea of his other alter ego, who was supposed to be like super ruthless and could give 2 fucks. I hate how they kind of teased it, touched on it a little bit, but they didn't really. And I get they may be trying to say that for season 2, but I just feel like there was just a lot of things that could have been done better, that I'm just, and even with the goofy alter ego, and I forgot his name, but even in the comics, he's supposed to be like a smooth detective sort of dude. I don't know why they made him goofy and cringy and nerdy like that. So it was a lot of things that they did that I didn't like. I was just like, yeah, I'm over this show yet. Like, y'all had me, and then y'all just dropped the ball.
So the Steve Grant character, he was supposed to be more serious.
Yeah, the one that was scary and goofy and in the suit.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be like more serious and smooth and like a detective sort of alter ego, not this scary, goofy person. I hate that they went that direction because it made it silly and goofy for no reason.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, hopefully, like you said, with season 2, they kind of open it up more, because I did notice that when it came to solving things, they leaned more into his character. Like the other character is more the, you know, Brian, but he was the brains. Like he could tell you, like, okay, this is supposed to go there, that piece should be here, and all that or whatever. So, you know, maybe, you know, this is more so of an origin thing, and maybe I don't know, maybe he'll come into his own. I don't know. It's, you know, maybe he'll come into his own, but, you know, I do think he has potential to do it, though.
Yeah.
You know?
I think, like, if I'm not mistaken, because it's been so long since I've seen the show, but it seems like he was starting to come into himself and start to become not so afraid and more brave. So that was good to see. But yeah, Moon Knight was just overall disappointment, because when I first heard about Moon Knight, I was like, he looked awesome. I love his story. I love his abilities. I think that's dope. That's cool. But I hate the fact that Disney kind of goofed it up. So.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, but that just shows you how much content we really had with She-Hulk. Like, it's to the point where we got to talk about other shit that's going on.
It's like nothing else. It's nothing else more to say about She-Hulk than others. It's cringy, it's goofy, and I mean, and that also shows how irrelevant the story is, because it's not, what can we really touch on or discuss about the show? That's the sad part. I mean, I can't even talk about nothing that's profound that happened in the show.
That's the sad part about it, and I'm still trying to figure out what is Titania's role in this whole show. Like, you know, I just feel like she's the unconventional nemesis. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
you know,
even when she was first episode, I was like, what the frick is going on? Like, what is this? And why is she even in the show? That's my thing. Why is this character on the show? I don't know.
Maybe I have to read up on her character, because right now I'm just like, what is she adding to the show? Now, you know, from what we see, she has some type of strength, maybe. But then in this latest episode, her teeth got busted out. I'm like, shawty, like, what? Huh? So why you keep messing with the Hulk?
Right, and my thing is with that though, it's like, how? Okay, so She-Hulk can go toe to toe with Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways, she's supposed to be like better than him in different other ways or whatever. I don't know if necessarily in strength, but I know like she can. I guess she knows how to balance, or her human form and the Hulk form. She knows how to balance that better than Bruce does. But my whole thing is like, if she can go toe to toe with Bruce, how in the hell was Titania ever able at the wedding to just be going toe to toe with her like that? I'm like, how? And you're She-Hulk. I don't get that. Unless I'm tripping, I don't know, but that was strange to me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's clear that Titania isn't human. It's clear she has some type of powers. I mean, that was evident when she came flying through the courtroom or whatever. So, you know, I mean, but can she go toe to toe with She-Hulk? I don't think so. I mean, she can try, but, you know, maybe that's more so I'm not going to say I would like to learn more about it, because they kind of fucked that up for me, you know, but if I did look into it, I would want to kind of understand who she is and what are her powers, because they could very well downplay who she really is. She could probably be a real powerful being, and they downplay the shit out of her in the show. So I don't know yet.
Yeah,
so.
and I also kind of get like I could be wrong, could be reaching, but I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if later on in episodes they actually become frenemies, because I kind of got that sense of it. And honestly, like, that's why she was able to kind of keep up with She-Hulk. I feel like maybe She-Hulk kind of she didn't go like full Hulk with her, because of maybe the part of her does kind of, in a weird way, does kind of like her, you know. And I feel like maybe they will kind of play around with possibly having them be friends at the end of the season. I don't know. I kind of sense that from the last episode that I watched.
Yeah, because I mean, even with the whole thing when she came to the party, where like, so you here to fight me? Like, well, why are you here? And like, no, I'm just here to. Oh, you know, I was like, okay, you know. So I was just like, whatever's about to happen. So then when they finally did, you know, quote unquote fight, it didn't, you know, like you said, it didn't even really feel like vengeful type of shit. It was just more so just like, nah, I want to run my one. That's what it felt like. Run me my one.
Yeah, it just seemed like She-Hulk was like, let me knock her ass on her damn back so she can just stop. Like, it didn't seem like they were actually trying to hurt each other per se. So yeah, I definitely got those vibes. So that's how I feel. Because I feel like at this point, what point does she have on the show? Like, why is she here? I don't get it.
Yeah, because I mean, hell, I feel like She-Hulk's friend, the secretary, got more stake in the show than she do. So I don't really understand.
Right? Yeah.
What's the purpose at this point?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And even with some of the court cases, like the last dude, the Mr. Invincible, I think that was his name. Even
it's
that
Immortal.
Immortal.
Mm-hmm.
I like the scene where they were, the girl, the secretary, and the other lawyer, the black lady, were arguing back and forth, and he just jumps out the window. I'm like, who is writing this show? Like, who wrote this episode? Like, what was the point of that? It was just stupid, random things that happened that just weren't explained. It's making me mad all over again. I hate I watched that episode. I hate it.
Because, I mean, whoever he is, I'm pretty sure, like I said again, he's probably an actual powerful being that we don't know nothing about, and he's just being written off as whatever the hell he is. Because when he said, you know, call me Mr. Immortal or whatever, I'm thinking like, oh, so could he possibly be a part of the Eternals? Or, like, I don't know. My mind just started racing about where he could be connected. But, you know, he pretty much laid it out what he was. He was like, yeah, when I get in confrontation, I kill myself.
Yeah.
On business.
And I don't hate, back to your point about saying if they made it a different rating, I feel like it could be a dope show. And also they had better writers, but I don't know if this is an accurate comparison, but it kind of gives me The Boys vibes, only because I feel like at least they're kind of being more realistic of what some superheroes would be doing. There would be some superheroes that would be trying to shape shift and be a celebrity and have you thinking you're dating a celebrity, you're not. There would be a superhero that is immortal and would probably try to just kill himself temporarily to get out of something. Like, I feel like they're being realistic in what superheroes would do who have powers. It's just the way it's written, it's not conveying it properly for me anyways.
Yeah. I mean, you brought up a good point, you know, like with the different ratings, it's going to seem differently. You know, like I said, with The Boys, it would be more gory, or, you know, if he jump out of a building, you're going to see guts and shit, and he'll get back up and go on business.
Right.
You know, versus Disney is more of a PG thing when it comes to what superheroes would do, at least with She-Hulk, you know. And, you know, it's just like, all right, so that happened, where do we go next? You know, so I don't know. But yeah, like you said, 3 more episodes of that left.
And it's over with. I'm ready for it to be done. The only reason why I am watching it still is because, you know, of course you gotta watch these shows to kind of see, you know, if they're gonna kind of lead into other things. So that's the only reason. I'm over this show at this point. I'm over it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Man, but that's what we're here for. We're meant to be the movie and show critics. So
Right.
unfortunately, some of this shit we kind of gotta watch if we want to report on it or talk about it. So it's just like, you
Yeah.
know, and
God,
then I think that's how good.
no, I was just gonna say thank God. I've got Rings of Power and House of Dragon to help me get by. Cause God, Lee.
Yeah, yeah, and I gotta catch up on Ring of Power, but now I got another bundle of joy. I gotta do it when I got free time to get it in because I was a big fan of Lord of the Rings, so to watch it in a show form would be interesting to do. But the first episode I got to, it was just I got through a little over half of it, so I was just like, all right, hopefully more is gonna happen. So I'm just gonna try to stick with it and I'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I try to tell people is if you don't mind a lot of dialogue, which I don't, it won't bother you as much because some of the episodes, my bad, some of the episodes do have a lot of dialogue versus action. But if you're okay with that, you'll love the show. And also, if you like some people who are like super diehard fans, like they know the lore inside and out. I know some people are actually upset about the shows. They feel like it's not completely accurate to the books, which I don't mind. I think it's still a dope show. And yeah, I think it's a dope show. I don't think Peter Jackson's adaptation was completely like the books either, but people are gonna find ways to complain. They're talking about it's too woke, is they don't like black characters in there. And I'm like, bro, I'm so over this society. I'm so
I hate when that shit happens like that because you further prove the point. I remember somebody made the the funny comparison about like between this guy and that guy. If a black guy, if he went back and passed, where would you go? It's like I don't even know if I want to go back and pass by the side, so I'm not gonna be welcome nowhere apparently.
right.
So when people make then when people make comments like this, like, oh, why they got black people there? They weren't there back then. Blah, blah. I was like, see, come on now. Now we can't even be in these shows and shit. So that's neither here.
Right, and exactly. And I'm like, are y'all mad that a dwarf is black? A dwarf, it's a dwarf. It don't like they don't even. There's no color existing in a fucking dwarf. That's the race. So what are like? I don't get it. It's like y'all are not making sense. It's just crazy to me. They're mad because there's a black elf, there's a black queen, and I'm just like,
it's Black Ariel.
right, he is a black Ariel. Like, I'm here for it.
Oh yeah, nah, I loved it. Like I said, that ain't the focal point of this episode, but yeah, I love that trailer. When I seen it, I was like, yeah, I like that. That shit was good.
Yeah.
But to be honest, man, Disney right now got us in a chokehold with a lot of stuff, like a lot of things they got going on, adaptations. They got the Marvel, they got Star Wars, and they own fucking almost everything at this point. So it's almost like it's almost like they're your drug dealer. They got all the drugs you want right now.
Yeah,
apparently. So it's hard to shake them if you wanted to, but they got what you want.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. Like, I just like I'll keep saying until they do better. I just hope they do better with Phase 4 because I know a lot of Marvel fans. Well, it used to be me included, but I used to talk hella shit about DCEU. I'm like, at this point, y'all are kind of heading in the same direction. I'm gonna need y'all to like get together at a board meeting, rewrite drafts or something. It's not it. Yeah. I'm over it.
Like I said, I'm hoping they don't slip past that, especially with all the stuff they got coming. Because we talked about Blade, that coming up, and they can't drop the ball on that. Like hell, I will ride up there personally because technically Marvel is in Atlanta. I'll ride up there personally. Like, no, don't y'all fuck this up. Let that shit be rated R. Let there be blood. Let there be explode. I want to see all that.
I hope they, and that's my thing. My gripe with Disney is like, and they're trying to I'm happy that they're trying to keep Deadpool rated R, cool.
Mm-hmm.
But shows, I hope they don't try to PG-13 it up. Like, just make it rated R. Kids these days, they're probably gonna see it anyway. Like,
because we did as kids. It's a lot of shit we weren't supposed to watch that we saw.
And I still watched it. And I grew up to be fine. I'm not no serial killer or anything. Like, I'm straight. So, like, I think at this point they need to stop trying to make shit PG-13. I mean, look at Snyder. The Snyder cut should be the blueprint for a lot of these superhero movies. It was rated R, and it still did amazing on HBO Max. People still went to watch it and everything. So,
I mean, there's a lot I can say about that too, because the Snyder cut, you notice all the things that were in Snyder cut were black. basically, Justice League took all the black out, and then when you watch Snyderverse, it's like it was so much story. Cyborg had such a rich backstory that y'all fucked up. Like, but again, it's not here.
Yeah, they definitely did. I remember I read up on that, and the director, what's his name? Something what they call it, the Justice League. They kind of make fun of his ass, though. The director that took over for Zack, but he legit, every person of color, he either cut down their scenes or he cut them completely out the movie. I was just like, that is wild. That is wild. And the fact that what's his name? It's at the tip of my tongue. Cyborg. I didn't think of it, but the fact that he was essentially the heart of the story, like Zack Snyder said, and his whole thing was cut like that, that is crazy to me. That is crazy. Crazy.
Very weird, because I mean, once you saw that, and then for none of that to be canon, none of the Snyderverse is canon. So they're pretty much just like, okay, you got to see it, but we're not gonna follow that. Why not? Like, if y'all use that as the basis, y'all would fix what y'all got going on, DCEU right now. But again, it's y'all say y'all doing this stuff for the fans, but it's just like, are y'all really doing it for us? Because I know when that dropped on HBO Max, I had the room dimmed out, had my mood lights going. I was like, all right, bet, let's do this. And it was good.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those movies that you never forget. That the day I watched that is probably like one of my favorite memories. I actually watched it with my dad and my mother too, if I'm not mistaken. And it was awesome seeing that for the first time. Like I said, it made me a DC fan. I was like, I'm not gonna talk shit.
Uh-oh. You there? Like that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
I hear you.
Calling me. I apologize for that.
No, you good.
But yeah, like damn, what was I left off at? Yeah, that was an experience for sure, just to watch that for the first time. I after that I was like, I will never talk shit again. And I think the issue was for me was I finally got to see them portrayed on screen as they should have always been portrayed. So I was blown away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But I think that's all we have for She-Hulk, which turned out to be She-Hulk and the multiverse of all these crazy verses.
Right. Hulk plus others.
Right. But I mean, we're definitely gonna keep on that, keep y'all posted on, what the MCU got going on, because next week our next episode is going to be about Thor: Love and Thunder. So we're gonna cover that one, and we both have watched it, so we're ready and prepped for that one. So that's more of that slope on what's going on with MCU, and then after that, we got other content for y'all. But yeah, this has been a
great episode.
Yeah, we got through it. We got through it with with limited love, but we got through it. But I think that's all I got. Unless you got anything.
I think we covered everything. Yeah, like I said, there's not much we can say about She-Hulk anymore. Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
And
done.
right. And I don't think it was a bad format. This was something that we was trying out because, if y'all didn't know, I had a new bundle of joy come in. So, just trying to pivot, change, so it is
Congratulations.
what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, because she's a trip, but yeah. But like I said, it's been another episode of Blerd Buster. I am your host, K1, and this is your co-host.
The line. Hope y'all enjoyed.
For sure, for sure. And we're definitely gonna be bringing some guests on soon, that way you ain't got to just see, me all the time. You get to see
All
other folks, because I know I'm not the face of this no more, so I'm gonna be in the background. I'll be in the background, so but we definitely want to get some fresh faces on because we got a Blerd community out here that you know about. There's a lot of people that love this shit. DC, Marvel, anime, all that stuff. That's another thing, like once we get deeper into the season, we got other content and other things we're gonna drop with y'all. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Yep. So again, it's another episode and we are out. Peace.